welcome to another serving of Nerd Takeout. It's been, I don't know, how long has it been?
Oh, like
8 years.
Like 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, we got knocked back because of Hurricane Isaac.
I'm glad we have that excuse for not recording, because
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah. No, we were delayed in putting our D&D episode out, so now we're back back at it again. That's fine. Yeah, I was late. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like a hurricane.
I mean, me and Andrew and John Michael tried to help you out with those editing, and
Yeah, we
you
were
did it
just
all by
like-
yourself.
We showed up every day, like editing equipment in hand, and he'd shoot us away.
Yeah, what a bastard I am. I mean, come on. Anyways, so yeah, we're back, ready to get started again. This week we are going to talk about a few different things, but before we get started, I am Josh Carley. With me is Andrew Green.
Hello, world.
John Michael Carley.
As always, that's me. I don't know. What do I don't know. We just say hello every day. It's not a phone call.
Hello.
And Neil Porsche.
Yeah, I was gonna say something in Japanese because there's like 3 people who write on my Japanese blog that were actually saying that they listen to our podcast every time we release it,
Yes.
which is horribly depressing and sad, but funny. And thank you for listening at all the same time. But they're like,
something-
you should say something in Japanese. I was like, I'm really never gonna.
Don't say something in Japanese. Say something that would have been in Japanese, but then was badly translated into English.
That is our whole podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much every
I
time we have an
forgot.
opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah. Arigato. Arigato. Arigato
You say
gozaimasu.
arigato.
Domo
Like
arigato
we say
gozaimasu.
arigato.
Yeah. No, it's really funny. And your friend was talking to me about Japanese too. The guy who offered to help us out a couple of times.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't understand a word in Japanese, but apparently Edward Norton does. Apparently
Nintendo.
he speaks it.
What?
Uma Thurman does.
Oh yeah.
She's
I just
ugly.
assumed.
She looks like. Sorry. I like Uma
Anyway,
Thurman though.
So
Show me
Kubo
a
was a good
wall.
movie.
Yeah. Let's watch
Anyway.
that.
So, as usual, we want to thank Garrett Landry for our awesome logo, which is still the best part of this podcast.
We still have that.
We want to thank the people who are still listening to this, and we want to thank the people who continue to engage us in conversation. So we appreciate
keep that
it.
up. We'll start giving out gift cards. We're not giving out gift cards.
For those who couldn't hear him, we're not giving out gift cards. Anyway, so this week we're gonna talk about some different things. Last time we did Dungeons and Dragons, so we didn't really go on anything that we played or we thought was interesting.
And we also thanks to Evan for last time for
Yes.
running our Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons
really
game.
appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. So I know that wasn't exactly the easiest thing in the world to put up with us not knowing how to play, or some of us, but it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Arigato.
and
Arigato, Evan.
we that's a the D&D episode. I think we all enjoyed ourselves. I think that's something we would like to do as in future podcasts.
Yeah,
as
that was fun.
well.
Right.
So maybe we'll have it like a bit more streamlined for next time.
Yeah, or me and Andrew decided
We'll
to
have-
write on the blog again. Maybe.
Well, yeah.
We'll have a.
Go read that. There's some funny stuff there.
Is there?
Still.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
it's
this
from
week,
last time.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about about 2 weeks ago we did D&D, and we didn't really talk about anything that we've been keeping up with. So it's been a while, and we've watched
Witches.
a lot of things, played a lot of things. So we're gonna talk about that. And then after the break, we're gonna talk about the Wii U, since Nintendo just released a lot of information, and we're gonna give you our pre-playing opinions on it. This week we're also drinking. Jermichael was kind enough to buy us a seasonal collection of Blue Moon.
Mhm.
It's what is it? Pumpkin ale.
Harvest Pumpkin
Harvest
Ale.
pumpkin ale. Since we're all about a bottle in, are you liking it?
It's the perfect taste of fall and beer.
That's very.
You could.
You read off the bottle?
Wow.
No, I
You should have been in their commercial.
I
That's
know
fine.
that's gonna
You're
be.
welcome for that plug.
Yeah,
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
So Blue Moon, if you want to start sponsoring the takeout,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like the 4th week in a row we've had this.
yeah. What do,
Well,
you,
not
Fresh
the-
morning dew.
do you like it? Are you enjoying it?
No, it's good. Yeah. I
It's
like all
well,
beers,
the
so.
off the bottle.
That's
It's
a good point.
it's the perfect complement to fall's crisp, clear days.
Andrew's like,
That is off the bottle.
We have
Andrew's
those
like,
in
I
back
didn't
in
even know
the
it was
Right.
Blue Moon. You just said beer,
What?
and I started drinking it.
Yeah, whatever.
I like it. I'm not a big pumpkin fan, but I do enjoy it. It's good. I mean, I like Blue Moon, and I'm always going to pick Blue Moon.
It tastes like autumn. So
It tastes like
Oh,
autumn, which is
smashing
good. Autumn
pumpkin
makes
ale.
me happy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's roll into the podcast before we continue to filibuster this and delay it. So let's keep going.
God, Josh still got to be political about everything.
I just started watching Parks and Recreation. That's what
okay, yeah. So where she reads the book.
where she reads filibusters the whole meeting. He's like,
I only watched like 2 episodes after that. But that was kind of funny.
I've only seen 2 episodes
Oh.
in, but it's quite hilarious. But we'll talk about it. Anyways, so what we're gonna do for
That's
the
our next
first bit is
podcast.
we're gonna talk about some things that we've seen or played during the break that we've liked or we haven't liked. we don't really talk about that. Like, we don't. I don't think we bash enough things.
I think it's because we all have really good taste and we don't pick things that we like are terrible.
Except for Batman, we bash that a lot.
That's
Ironically,
true.
So,
but,
yeah.
like,
apparently I was told I hated the movie.
that was.
You hated the movie.
It's not not like I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray or anything and watch it when I'm on there. But anyway, so unfortunately that won't be the case this week because I did see something that I will get to bash on a little bit. But
it was Franklin and Bash.
It was not oh boy, it's gonna be a long podcast.
Yes, I can see that coming.
We're clearly have all worked a lot today.
Yes.
And it's Friday and we're drinking beer. All right, so who wants to go first?
I can just say one or two things that I started. There's a billion things I've been doing since we probably last played, especially since we had the power outage, so I had some time to play some portable games. But one of the first things I picked up was Best Buy. If you're a Reward Zone gamer member, it's free. You get a coupon.
Plug.
I know, right? You get a coupon from their website for $30 off The Witcher 2. So I ended up picking up The Witcher 2 while it was on sale for $40 for $10. So I got Witcher 2 for $10, and I started that out. It's a really good but complicated game that blatantly is like a PC game ported to the Xbox. But I've had a lot of fun with it so far. I've only put in about maybe 2 hours into it and died during the tutorial at the beginning, fairly early on. But I really enjoyed that. So Witcher 2, I know Josh loves it. But have you been playing that more?
Yeah, I had got busy and I've actually picked it back up. I'm a good ways through Act 2 right now. And like you said, like when I was playing the tutorial, it's like, all right, so now that we've taught you everything, you're going to play this round, and it's going to set your difficulty, and I died within like seconds.
Well,
but I've gone back and bumped, once you get the hang of it.
You can bump it up at any time, right?
Yeah, you can change
well, like, I know
it
at first, like, you usually play these RPGs, and, like, you can usually, like, in Western RPGs, you can, like, attack, and you can sometimes defend in games and maybe use an item. At the beginning of Witcher 2, they're like, hey, you can lay this trap, and this trap. You can throw this bomb, this little knife and dagger. You can use this sword, but then you have this other sword that we didn't really explain to you what that's for. Oh, and here's your fireball spell, your healing spell, your magical like enchantments that change your weapon. Oh, and before you use your sword, you have to oil up your sword first because you can't use it without oiling up for enchantments. I'm like, what the hell?
So the deal is like you can, but it's like you have different things that can enhance the ability of your sword. Mm-hmm. So like if you're going into a boss fight, it's like, well, I should probably enhance my sword with this. You can collect plants and stuff for alchemy. So like if you're in a dungeon and it's dark, like you have a potion called Cat, and so you can see like in the dark. Cool. And there's different ones that do different things, and then you can upgrade according. Anyways, so yeah, it's an interesting once you get the hang of it. And I'm not really even saying that I have, but like you can hit with a spell, cut, roll, cut, defend. I'm really not that good at parrying because I typically don't even block in games. I just kind of like attack.
I was just impressed that the combat system itself, something that's usually actually pretty weak in a lot of RPGs, like these type of RPGs, was really, really good. Like or at least really complex in a way that something like Skyrim was just like like you just ping ponging back and forth off of someone, or even in Dragon Age, like it was in Dragon Age 2, they just got away from all of that, and I don't know. I like it though. I mean, Witcher 2.
One of the things that I've noted about The Witcher 2 is that for some reason, like I like God of War. I love playing the combat system and that stuff. But it's a cool thing to do. But I don't feel like I'm there. I don't feel like it's for some reason, and maybe it's just the pace of the way that he swings his sword. But it's like I actually feel like I'm crunching through things.
I think a lot of it's the sound design, because when you're hitting someone, it sounds like it just hurts. Like there's like a deep cut when you go into somebody, and the same thing when you get hit. Like every time you get hit, it just feels like a solid hard hit. And a lot of
it's one of those games where it's like you can't just sit there and just start hitting damage. It's like if you take a few hits and then you either back up or you're gonna die. But yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I played a lot of more fighting games. I picked up Tekken Tag 2, and I really,
of course you did.
Of
course you did.
Yeah, I really like that game, and I don't like Tekken.
Of course you did.
No, I hate Tekken. Like I haven't liked Tekken since Tekken Tag 1 or Tekken 3. I haven't really played any of the 4, 5, 6. I never really played any of those.
Oh, they're really good.
So you hate half.
Not
really.
A Tekken game that
wasn't
a Tekken game called Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, that game's awesome. But Tekken Tag 2 is like really. No, Tekken Tag 2 is. There's a fat Asian dude sumo guy. I mean, the game's really good. Tekken Tag 2 is good. No, it has good online play. It's smooth. It's got a lot of stuff where you can do different types of matchups, and there's just a lot of unlockable characters. You can dress them up and make them wear funny clothing. So.
That's pretty cool.
No, it's fun.
You would like that. It's weird.
I do. I would dress up in funny clothing if I could.
I know.
What about you, John Michael?
What have I been playing?
No, do you like wearing funny clothes?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I'm sorry.
He's
I was
wearing
trying to like
big bra as we speak.
yeah, it's I. thought
Yeah, we
you
only
weren't gonna
cosplay
notice.
to the podcast. We always come out.
Oh yeah, we missed MechaCon, so we
I know.
decided to dress up in our costumes now.
Sad day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, what games or what have you been doing?
Okay.
You've been doing something?
No, I've just been sitting there, staring
Pondering
at
life.
the walls. I wrote like a philosophy manuscript.
Planning for the next podcast.
Right. Actually, no. I've been wasting my time with video games. I got Sleeping Dogs, which I don't know if any of you guys have played the game.
I played the
yet.
demo and I'm
good.
probably
Oh, yeah,
gonna.
you played
I'm
it.
gonna borrow that
Yeah.
from you right after I borrow that Spider-Man game.
Oh
you
yeah,
let me
yeah,
borrow.
yeah. I'm really enjoying it. It's like the Yakuza games plus Grand Theft Auto in like
It's like
this
true
very
crime.
cool way. Yeah.
True
Well,
crime.
it is. Well,
Yeah,
it is
same-
true
same
crime,
film,
but
right, it is true crime.
right. But I
How
feel
long
like
are you into it?
I'm for a couple hours in.
Do you feel like the hand-to-hand combat has gotten repetitive to you, or does it still feel a little? Because in
No,
the demo,
it's awesome.
in the demo,
It's
they throw
awesome
a
all the
lot.
way through.
They throw a lot like consecutive, like those combat. Like if they spread that out to me, it wouldn't be as bad. But they hit a lot with me in the demo where I was kind of like, once I picked up a gun, I was like, pow in the face, done.
Well, you didn't
No.
equip your batarangs yet, so you have those equipped. You're good to go.
No, I like the combat system. I always feel like a badass at any fight I'm in. Like anytime I see enemies on my map, I'm like, I'm gonna go fight those guys. I don't get experience for it or anything. I just want to fight them.
Yeah. Do you unlock new moves? Or
You do,
something?
you do.
Okay, so it
like
is like,
there is a way to like unlock new moves
it's
to
like
like
that
add
other
onto
game.
your combo.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't get it through experience points. You find like these statues and you go like learn from like a master like these new
the master
moves.
statue. Or?
No, it's like what you're like. I forget the actual name for him. Some sort of master. You know Japanese stuff.
Yeah, that's
So it's-
racist. It's Chinese.
Chinese,
I mean,
I was
that's
about to
fine.
say.
Yeah, yeah, but you
Say
find
they're all the same.
but you
Everyone
find a
knows that.
statue and then
No.
you just get that ability. Though, is that how that works? Or
Yeah,
you do
well,
have to
basically,
go-
there's like a skill tree basically, and you decide which one.
Okay.
and
Oh,
move
so
down the
you do
skill tree.
pick though, like
Yeah,
which-
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
And then you learn it from there. But overall, it's I don't know. It's a fun game, and I like the environment. It's
Is there like a variety in the missions, or are you still doing the same basic things? I know some of those open world games like they do riff
so
off of it.
it's one of those things where I've played all of these missions before, obviously, in
Yeah.
like Grand Theft Auto and games like that. But the way they present a lot of this stuff, like they do add fresh elements. Like they take the like the action hijack stuff from Just Cause, and they implement that in here, so you can jump out of a car onto another car and jump into it,
That's
which is so
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool.
And you can like I don't know
I think Saints Row did the type of stuff too, though, where they
Sure,
were like
yeah.
where they were like doing things that you did before, but at least trying to add
and
something else
I
to
think
it. Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs is one of those games where it doesn't try to be anything more than it is, and it's a fun game, and it's a time sink. Like I'll end up playing it without realizing how much time I've actually been playing it. So I guess it's one of like my recommendation for right now.
It's good to pass the time until Borderlands 2 comes
That's
out.
true. Yeah, I've also been playing. Neil and I were talking about this before we started. Game Dev Story, which has been out for so long. But I
good.
just now started it.
It's
but,
on like all iOS stuff and all Android things. It's
yeah,
on almost
and so
everything.
that's it's like $2 something like that, and
Bought 'em
it's
off
just
flip phone.
So what is Game Dev Story?
so. Game Dev Story is like this little. I guess it was the Japanese game.
Yeah, it's like it's a simulation type.
right,
game.
and you're basically running your own video game company. And you get to decide like what games you're gonna make, what style, what genre, what type, what system you're gonna design it for.
Because it starts out like way back, like an early PC.
Oh, yeah,
games,
you can
and you only
only,
have like
like-
2 guys in your office.
Yeah, sure, and they can all like
so can you make Chex Quest in this game?
You can make whatever you
it's-
want.
If you want to
Make whatever you
Minesweeper,
want.
yeah. If you want to call, well, I mean,
Just for
that's
the
what you want to
anyone
name your
else
game.
play Chex Quest?
Oh yeah, dude, I
Yeah.
would come over to your house to play Chex
Oh, I
Quest.
love Chex Quest.
They should remake that in HD.
I'm pretty sure it's coming out.
I'd
well,
get at it.
On the Wii U, but we can't talk about that till after
That's
the
true.
break.
That's true. Megaton.
I've been playing the Wii U.
Except they're going to call it Chex Quest U.
Yeah, I don't
Download
know.
Game Dev Story. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
I recommend it. Andrew,
My turn. I've been playing downloadable games. I have an emulator on my phone. Played that during the hurricane. I've been playing Super Mario RPG.
The views expressed by this podcast are not necessarily those of everyone else.
Emulators
it's
are
fine.
awesome.
We just won't tell you where to get them.
Yeah. So you don't support you don't support the
Yeah,
game
man.
industry. I understand.
Yeah.
There's
You don't
no
support
real
people
play.
working in the
I
hard-
support the free version of the game. But I've been playing Super Mario RPG,
Yeah, shop at Gameware.
Legend of the Seven Stars. And it's,
That place is awesome.
I don't know, the game just came out. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's really good.
Have you
Oh,
played?
can you explain it to
Have
me?
you, have you Have you played through that game before?
No, not all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you never actually. How far do you think you're along into it?
Oh, so you never fought
I'm
Smithy?
almost there. No, I'm about to go fight Smithy.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Being able to play.
So you haven't seen where Ares dies yet?
Spoilers. Continue. He still doesn't even understand that. That's the funny part. Joe.
No, yeah. Anyways, I'm almost at the end.
It's funny because it's true.
I know.
No, that's it. No, I watched Battle Royale.
What'd you think about Battle Royale?
It was okay.
Why don't we talk more about Super Mario RPG? We've been talking about
I think we actually talked a lot about
No.
Super Mario RPG. I think
So
I
did
think we actually
Gino
I don't know if we ever
and
did.
Mallow
Don't you
ever
do-
appear in any other game ever?
No.
besides-
No, that's
I mean,
Why
that's
would?
it.
I mean,
Dude, would you not play as Gino in a
a Smash Brothers game?
I wouldn't play a Smash Brothers game. No, I'm
Just
just
stand there
Just shoot stars at people.
I mean, if you played as Mallow, you'd just be playing as Kirby, basically. I
Yeah.
mean, even though they're different people would be like, that's just another Kirby. But if you
It
played as
is
Gino,
Gino.
that would be a legit
yeah,
character.
and the Super Smash Bros. Would never add things of the same character that look similar. Or act
No,
the
of
same,
course
so-
not having Jigglypuff in there.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I thought was the coolest about that game when it first came out was like, I mean, were you able to play as Bowser before that in anything? I mean, I guess maybe a Mario Kart, but like being able to actually have him
On your team, like as an ally.
Yeah.
Well, just the whole concept of the fact that Mario RPG was a thing that
Oh,
Squaresoft,
sure, yeah.
that Squaresoft and Nintendo were like, yeah, we're gonna do this, or Square at the time. That's just a weird.
Well, it's akin to playing with like in Chrono Trigger when you get Magus on your team. You know, it's been like this
Mm-hmm.
antagonist. I mean, you can or cannot. It depends on how you play the game. But you're like, dude, this is awesome. So the fact that I was like, dude, I have Bowser on my team. He
Yeah.
might suck, but I'm just gonna keep him in the whole
Oh
time.
no, dude, he's a good.
It's like the-
He can
yeah,
take some
actually,
damage.
But he's good. I'm
Well,
saying,
yeah.
like, he
Yeah.
didn't suck. But I'm saying, even if he did,
Oh, yeah.
just for the point, you know,
Right, gotcha.
Here's the tank.
I just-
like actually, I'm in Bowser's Keep, and if you have Bowser on your team and one of the party members, like most of the enemies just run away in that
Yeah.
last level. Like, Bowser's here, run away. You don't have to
I
fight.
remember
just
that.
walk
Yeah,
through.
because I don't think I ever took him out of my party
Yeah.
once I put him in. Once I
Yeah.
got him.
Dude, you
tank,
get
man.
like the team of like Mario, Bowser, and Peach. That's
Yeah,
like a
that's
good
what I have
team.
right
You
now.
keep her like buffing and like healing and stuff. Where
That group hug, son.
yeah, dude.
That game is good.
Throw some pick me ups in
Great
there.
game.
Yeah,
It's a
pick me
great
up.
game.
They never re-released that on anything except for like Virtual Console. I think
Yeah,
they might put it on
that's,
there. If they
that's
even did.
it. Yeah, just
Yeah.
emulate it in Virtual Console and
It's weird.
I can tell you that if they were to release that like on some DS version or
Or
whatever,
the
I would
that's
buy
a
that.
Wii U launch title. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
of
would buy
course.
that like
Don't talk about that yet.
Yeah,
Sign off
my
for
bad.
break.
yeah, hush. Don't have
Yeah.
an opinion on that.
Apologies.
No, that's it. Wait, did I say Battle Royale yet?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I said it was okay. 'cause it was
That
just-
movie's
it was-
awesome.
it
You
was
should watch it. It's
entertaining.
on Netflix though,
It was
right?
entertaining.
Is it?
If you,
It's on Netflix?
Yes.
but do
It
you
was.
think it's okay because you've like it's so? If you can do this, and I have trouble doing this, but let's say that you never read the book.
I can't do this. but
Okay,
I'm
okay,
sorry,
wait.
anyways.
Do you think it's entertaining?
No, it's definitely entertaining.
So like, if you hadn't read the book and like, especially if you haven't really seen a lot of Japanese movies, and that would be like one of your first like,
Or the Hunger Games.
yeah, or if you want to see like really good things, like it was really entertaining to me when I saw it. Like I really liked the soundtrack. Like I talked to you about that
Yeah.
before. It just had like these why is this song going on in the background, and the guy who plays I can't believe I forgot his name again. The teacher is like so
It's,
good.
Katano.
Yeah, he's good.
Takashi
He's
Katano.
good in like everything. He's been like all the Yakuza guys.
Well,
he's just
he
awesome.
directs those movies.
Correct.
there.
Correct. Yeah, he's awesome though.
Takashi beat Katano is his name.
Yeah, way to butcher. But yeah, I mean he's good.
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, but it's fine. I'm not gonna
I
correct
see
you.
it.
I'm not.
Correct
I'm
me,
not
yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
game.
Please
Come on,
correct
don't
me.
care.
Enlighten
Don't
the
care.
ignorant me.
Don't
Takashi.
care, dude. No, I'm good.
Andrew, how would you think maybe you would say that?
Yeah,
Arigato.
let's all
What's the-
mispronounce
No,
Japanese
I'm
names.
not doing this. Not doing that.
So what about you,
Not doing
Josh? What have you been doing?
I mean, I haven't really played any new
Arigato.
games. I finally picked the Witcher 2 back up. I've watched a lot though. I went and saw The Expendables 2.
How was that? I still haven't seen that.
I enjoyed the hell out of
I
it.
haven't seen the
Oh,
first one still. So
Well, see, so like I like
go
the
see
first
it.
one.
Good.
The first one was
do it.
entertaining.
Let's go get in the
But
car.
one of the things that
Let's
bothered
start
me
now.
tremendously about the first one was that it's supposed
the
to
plot?
be
No, I'm joking.
yeah, and like it's a throwback to these old action films, but literally everything they did was in CGI. And I was just
Really?
like,
Yeah, in the
even
first
like
one?
the
Yeah,
smoke and
yeah.
the fire, just like the rubble was all in CGI, and I couldn't get past that. Where in this one, I mean, obviously, there, when you're blowing someone's head off with a sniper rifle, like, all right,
So
whatever.
they actually did that in real life.
Yeah.
Right, but like this one was a lot better at that. I thought the characters were more entertaining. There were more people. It was. I just feel like all the good stuff in the first one, they just all the entertaining stuff in the first one, they took and just made it 10 times better. And obviously, like, I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. It's a very specific thing. Everyone working on that movie knows what it is.
How did that movie do box office wise?
I think it did all right.
Because the first one actually did pretty good, didn't it, for what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I did it right. Like, all right. I don't know if it did as much as they were expecting, but I mean, honestly,
God,
if
how do you even draw expectations for what that movie's supposed to make? You're just like, okay.
I mean, but it's full of just
We'll guess.
Silly banter. Chuck Norris has a cameo, and he says one of his Chuck Norris jokes, like,
cute.
and then there's the whole, it's just like having seen a lot of the movies with those guys in it. I mean, it is what it is, and if you're like, I don't know, if you're stuck up about that kind of thing, then like, obviously, but if you know what it is, I thought it was enjoyable for what it was.
Sure.
I went and saw Lawless, which was, we'll call it average, and be fair.
Boring.
Yeah, it wasn't that it was necessarily boring, but it was like
It wasn't necessary.
it was it's like a you have the cops versus the outlaws in the Prohibition era. They're threatening the family.
Never heard that before.
And that's the thing is it's like it's a genre flick. All right, It's like a cops and robbers except
like
reverse genre flick, and so you expect certain things to happen, and like none of those things they all kind of happened, but none of them were really that amazing. Like always, and I'm not giving away anything by saying this. I don't think like those films always end in like the big shootout finale, like every time. And the shootout finale, to say underwhelming, let's just say it's underwhelming. I mean, it couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 minutes.
like Batman.
Oh god.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. No, but like and I felt like the reason I went and saw it is because I liked, minus Shia LaBeouf, I liked all the actors in it, and really, the acting didn't impress me. In fact, I even thought that Tom Hardy was harder to understand in this than he was in Bane. Straight up. I realize I'll probably get fussed at for that, but I mean, I feel like everybody was like, I'm gonna be like the tough mumbly guy, or I'm gonna be like the creepy bad guy.
Like everyone was a weird character guy.
Right.
But
everyone I feel like you're playing just caricatures of this. Like it's not even that. I don't know. Anyways, it's worth a rental, but it's certainly not.
Who all was in there? It was like Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, Guy Pearce.
Tom Hardy, Guy Pearce, Jessica Chastain, Gary Oldman. I mean, and then there's a few people I'd seen.
So it's like it's a good, strong cast.
It's a strong cast. I just felt like
that's what sold it.
There wasn't a lot to go with as far as the script was, and I just felt like maybe the way that they were directed, like I feel like the director should have been like, But anyways, I rented The Woman in Black.
That is a good movie.
Oh, we can talk. Was it?
Harry Potter and the Woman in Black. You didn't like that?
Right? Like I still had problems with that at all, of him being a father. Like that was a legitimate, like, it's just one of those acting cast things where him being a father to me was hard.
That was honestly,
that's what's weird.
I mean, there were several things I could say about the movie that I didn't like, but really the main thing was that I didn't watch the movie and think of him as Harry Potter. I didn't watch the movie and think
that wasn't even my problem either. Yeah,
it was just that he was.
But shouldn't that be an accomplishment in and of itself?
It is, and he.
I thought that
he acted really well. But the thing is, when he filmed the movie, he was 21, but he looks like 3 years younger than he is.
Yeah.
So playing like a widowed father, I just felt like he was
weird.
Physically was too young.
I get he was probably trying to step away, like do something,
Right.
but I feel like that was so far out of me to be like, no.
Honestly, if they would have made this movie like 4 or 5 years from now, I feel like that was literally my only issue with him.
Yeah, that was my main issue.
Do like some makeup, make him look a little bit. I don't know. You can do stuff like that.
And there were some things where like they recycled a lot of the rooms. I didn't like how I feel like they should have got some master shots, but I thought the use of negative space in that film was done quite well.
We talked about this like a couple nights ago. There were just some very disturbing scenes.
I agree.
Some very, very disturbing scenes. I mean, I won't ruin anything for anybody, but like that movie, I saw it in the theaters, and there's like these jump out moments, and everybody in this theater screams and then laughs to themselves. But things like that, they don't like. That's not what I go to a movie to see. I know that's what fills seats, like in America especially, like that pop out horror. Like that's what people love. But I guess what I like in a horror movie is what this movie actually had is very disturbing scenes that are like
Well, the overall themes of that movie, it was just
Yeah,
really,
it's just-
it was creepy in a lot of parts.
One of the things that I thought was so maybe I'm biased, but I feel like
No.
everybody has a thing that really gets to them. Like from a this scares me perspective. Like
Sure.
everybody has a thing. It's always different. And 9.5 times out of 10, if you set something in the Victorian era, you got a leg up on me. If your ghost is like an elder woman,
Oh, sure.
like with
yeah,
something
that's
draped on her face,
terrifying.
that's it. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't even have to be
Yeah,
good.
creepy older women and children, both of those things just freak the shit out of me.
The others with
others,
Nicole
yeah,
Kidman.
yeah, yeah.
I have an entire
They
theory on
combined
this
a
that
small
doesn't
girl
Exactly,
and an old woman
right?
with
Yeah,
a-
like-
That movie, I felt like The Others was a sadly overlooked film because
haven't-
it came out around The Sixth Sense. But I thought The Others was.
I
But
think it
they,
wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, no. But The Sixth Sense is.
it was definitely better. But I felt like
Negative.
I felt like The Others should have gotten. I like the twist at the end of The Others.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
I thought it a very strong twist.
Yeah.
But overall, I love horror films, and overall, I was. I'm not going to get into like the different things about The Woman in Black that bothered me, but overall,
Yeah.
I felt like it was really good. Now, and we can talk about this more once we get into October. I don't feel like a lot of the older horror films that I really love, they don't do this, and I don't know if it started with The Sixth Sense. I don't know what you need to blame on, but like I feel like in Act 3 of horror films now, they feel like they need to like solve some mystery
Yeah.
or do
Sure,
some
right.
do some big thing. Whereas like in The Shining or Halloween, I love the original Halloween. There was none of that. It's like let's just play it straight through. And I felt like The Woman in Black did a little bit, but it didn't do it as much as other movies, and I like that.
It's
I
like
respected that.
So, like you're talking about the horror movies now, it's like, why is there a ghost? Like, let's fix the ghost. Let's make it go away. What sort of magical thing? What brought it here? How can we get rid of it? That's
Right.
great for like a storyline perspective, but I guess as a horror movie, it just I think it confuses things. And
It puts it. It's like what. It's like I feel like a lot of times the films are brought down by these heavy explanations, and it's like,
yeah, right.
all right, we don't need that. Like we just want.
Yeah,
I just want to see this ghost tripping on this dude. And another thing, I think one of the other things I liked about it was that there was about a 20-something minute period in the middle of that film where the only dialogue that was used were like voiceovers when he was reading notes, and I thought that was risky. I thought it was impressive, and I thought it was well done because there was no exposition. There was it was just like I was like, and I like that. I like that. You know what part I'm talking about? Like, and I thought that was. I was glad they went out on that.
How would you feel about a horror movie? This, I guess, can go out to anyone.
A horror version of The Expendables? Is that what you were going to say?
With Hermione?
Yes.
Yes.
No, it would be
I totally watch it.
Money from the first
just-
Harry Potter, that's a horror
Totally
movie.
watch
just off the top of my head. It's an entire movie. Let's say it's a feature-length film.
Hermione from the first
No
Harry Potter.
dialogue.
Yeah,
Just
you
a dude in a house, and there's no dialogue with another character. He doesn't necessarily talk to himself. He like
So like
screams and makes
90%
appropriate
of
noises.
paranormal activity.
Well, see,
Unfortunately, there was way too much talking. Apparently.
Right? If they just wiped out all the talking, it'd be the parts that were supposed to be the horror parts of
Wouldn't-
paranormal activity. No, I mean, but yeah, like,
wouldn't that-
yeah,
you know,
like,
I feel like
shit's
that would be
creepy.
actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you feel so isolated from that movie? Like,
I feel like it could be done extreme. I mean, I feel like that has possibility.
Yeah, if only we knew people who tried to do movies, that
I
would
know
be great.
that would be. Oh, we got to get with
Get
somebody on
someone
this.
with a camera.
Right?
Oh,
Man, we suck.
you might know Zack Schneider.
God.
Tell him he's
genius,
Superman's last straw.
Zach Braff hasn't made anything in a while. We could talk to him.
What was
Really
the last
good
one he did? The
monologues.
Last Kiss. I never watched
I
that.
think so. I didn't.
Did you
enjoy
ever
that
end up
movie
watching The
very
Hunger
much.
Games?
No, I was gonna read the book first.
Okay.
I mean, we have that.
I know, I
bought
saw it
for
on
my
your calendar
wife.
twice,
Yeah,
so.
Have you guys watched The Raid Redemption yet?
No.
Oh, I heard it was
you
good,
keep
though.
telling
I
me
heard
to
it was
watch
good.
Dude,
I heard it
go
was
to
good.
Redbox and get that from Redbox and watch that.
Chad told me it was good at work.
So
So,
good.
Dude, speaking of stuff like that, do you know that right now, and Rotten Tomatoes isn't necessarily a good, whatever. Judge Dredd, have you seen the rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
No, what is it?
93%.
That's
Are you
awesome.
serious?
It's like 40 or it's like 40 or 50
are they
reviews.
just comparing it to the old Judge Dredd? So they're like,
Are they
No,
actually-
they're
is it
saying,
like-
they're saying it's genuinely good, and a comparison to
Really?
the Raid Redemption. Well, they said that it's for what it is, it's phenomenal.
I mean,
Is
all
it
it's supposed to be
like-
is blast people and be awesome.
Yeah.
It's greedy in it.
And they compared it to the Raid Redemption. That's why I thought about
Guys,
it.
next
But
podcast, we have to
Yep.
go see that this weekend.
Apparently that's what we're
I
gonna
am the law.
do. Who plays him again?
Who cares?
It's Carl Urban. He was in Lord of the Rings. Was he Pathfinder? He might have been Pathfinder.
He was the ring.
He played the Doctor in Star Trek.
I'm
almost positive that's the guy that's playing
okay.
Judge Dredd. And then Cersei Lannister is playing the antagonist. And the girl that plays his partner. What else was she in? She was in some of those teen. I don't remember her name. She's in some of those teen comedy things. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, like right now it's got like 40-something reviews. It's at a 93%.
It's Zoe Deschanel.
We're gonna have to see that.
No, we're gonna have to see that.
Just like we're gonna have to go see The Master.
Yeah, someone else just told me that. Like, I was reading on Twitter, someone said that was like the best acting of like they've seen for the last year or two. They said that was really good.
Yeah, probably since There Will Be Blood came out.
Interesting.
Because his performance in There Will Be Blood is.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
But that's coming out October 7. Psychopaths is coming out.
Wait, when does The Master come out? Or did it?
The 21st. Well, it came out like today, I think, in like New York and Los Angeles.
Right.
But the 21st is when it's getting I guess as wide as it possibly can. I hope it gets a wide release. Hopefully we'll get it down here. Perkins Royal will probably get it.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm very much.
They got There Will Be Blood. That's where we can see.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
Yeah, that.
Anybody else do anything cool recently that they would? Neil, you did a lot of stuff.
I feel like I did something else, but I can't really remember off the top of my head. I did play this game on PSN, but I just downloaded the demo because it was cool. You should try it. It's called Retrograde. And it's basically, like a sideways shoot 'em up, like a shooter, like, not Galaga, but the other way. What is, I can't think of a game off the top of my head, like R-Type, that's kind of like that, where you're going sideways. But you play through it and you kill this boss, and then everything starts going in reverse. And you have to play a whole shoot 'em up in reverse by moving your character where he's supposed to be and shooting at the right time to catch your bullets. So it becomes a rhythm game, but you're playing a sideways shooter in reverse. So you're like catching bullets and watching the enemy explode, but then reappear and then catching your bullet and moving up and down in 3 lanes. So it becomes like a Guitar Hero Rock Band game.
That's pretty cool.
It's like an 8-bit soundtrack.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's called Retrograde. You should just try it out because it's a free demo, and I think it's coming to PC later. But it's really weird. But I was like, oh, this is.
Speaking of Rock Band, I've been playing like Saturdays. Yeah, we'll play some Blitz at GameWare and
Rock Band Blitz.
Rock Band Blitz. It's like, so have you Harmonix back in the day before they did like Rock Band and stuff like that? They had their other like good rhythm games, and so
like Frequency and Amplitude are the names you were thinking of.
Yeah, Frequency and Amplitude. So how do I best describe this? Neil,
you're going down a lane, but like you're not using a plastic instrument. So you're watching these.
True.
You're watching these. Like notes and stuff. Type notes that come down, but you're
basically your
it's
entire
a rhythm game
band
still, right? And you're moving, but this one uses a lot of power. It's like a score chasing game, isn't this?
Yeah, exactly.
But it uses all your songs that you had from Rock Band,
right?
In the game itself.
You can't like fail out,
right? Right.
So you have like your tracks. You have a drum track, a vocal track, a bass track, a guitar track, and you switch between these that you want to play, and you're basically just seeing how many points you can get, I guess. It's actually, honestly, it's kind of more fun than like every Rock Band and guitar game the past like 5 years. So do
you remember how much it was? At 15 or?
I think it's pretty cheap.
I know,
it's a reasonable
I know
price.
the coolest part about it is that it actually comes with 15 or 20 songs. That you can use in Rock Band 3, and then all of your Rock Band songs also work with that game. So even as like a downloadable pack, if you're still one of those people who play Rock Band, which I do know some of those people, then it would be able to work like that. So
Stephen Martin at GameWare came up with the idea of Blitz mitts, which are fingerless gloves that you wear while you play Rock Band Blitz.
So you should kill your hands. So.
You should buy.
You should be selling those.
No, they made them.
Oh Jesus!
Harmonix made them. Like you can go look.
I guess they knew that already.
Yeah,
They're like, yep.
He pitched that idea to him, and they made them. I thought that was pretty cool. He showed me them.
Interesting. I didn't know they still made rhythm games.
Yeah.
I thought that was done.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Fiat rhythm is like way up in the awesomeness realm.
Stupid.
So
you've never played a Final Fantasy game.
That's why you didn't get. That's why you didn't get the joke earlier.
I'm gonna put it on my emulator. Yeah, I know it was a freaking Final Fantasy joke. I'm gonna put it on my phone. I'm gonna play through all of them.
Please do. That would make me so happy.
But other than that, I really haven't.
Which, by the way, we are planning a podcast in the future. We need to come up with some schedule where we're going to sit down and play through all of them, and then we'll have to as many as we possibly can.
I was saying, so 20 years from now, when
I have one.
When this podcast has gone mainstream,
just news on video game stuff that I just think is stupid. Real quick, announcing another Final Fantasy 13 game.
Oh God,
that just is about lightning. is the most ridiculous news I've ever heard
What
in my
makes
life.
me so
No, it's not. This one that's just called, is it lightning back to lightning? I don't know what it's called. Something dumb, but it's just all.
But that's what it is. That's what it's 13.3.
It is, and it's just like. But I'm sure. I'm sure some marketing department was like, no.
What makes me so mad about that, I guess, is that they're like, okay, we're designing this entire world. This what is they call it, the Crystallis Nuvus or something like that.
Yeah.
And like this is our world, and Final Fantasy 13 is going to be a part of that. And we have like 4 other games in this series that we want to put out.
All of them more interesting than 13.
Exactly, and they all look awesome.
Cancel all of those. Not release those.
No, like
Let's
Final
just do
Fantasy
shit
like
game.
Versus and Agito and those like. The one where it's basically
not
like,
the one. Don't let the one that the Kingdom Hearts team is working on come out.
The grown-up version of Kingdom Hearts, basically, is what that would.
I would buy that.
Yeah,
and it looks awesome. If you go watch the trailers for Versus when they kept showing it off in gameplay, you're like, oh, this looks like Kingdom Hearts, but like with the new 13 engine, but awesome and in real time.
Like the cool setting of like that Final Fantasy 8 actually had.
Yeah, that's really what it reminded me of. But then they're like, no, more Final Fantasy 13, more sequels.
That's what everyone loves.
More sequels to a game that no one liked. Like literally, it just makes me.
I couldn't even play 13 too because it's like you're making a game about my least favorite character.
Yeah.
In the first game.
Yeah.
So no.
Really, they could have made a sad.
That's because they wanted you to wait to the third Final Fantasy 13 game to wait for one that was almost a passable character. So yeah, no, that's just one of those.
See,
things.
whenever you said
Lightning.
Vanille.
Oh, Vanille. The other.
No, you play as Sarah.
Whenever you said news in video games, I thought you were totally going to rag on the fact that Capcom
is
the most honorable people in the DLC world have already announced DLC for Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, but everything has DLC now, man.
That's all it's
like,
unlock it.
can you? Oh, if they put this on the disc,
they probably it'll be on the disc.
That's such a something. Sure. And I don't know. I'm getting off my soapbox right now. Just gonna climb one off.
That's what this podcast is for.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's a glorified soapbox.
Man, you know, like. I'm going to buy Resident Evil 6. I will probably buy it day one.
Part of the problem.
No, but...
So you're buying the disc you know that has the DLC on it. So don't
here's
complain.
The thing is, though, is like, I don't think buying... Because I've given this a lot of thought. Like, I'm not against DLC.
You're just a Wesker fan?
Sorry.
No.
So cool.
But I'm saying, like, I think there are ways you can do DLC right. I think there are ways you can do DLC wrong. And then making people pay for things on the disc. But what I'm saying is, I'll buy Resident Evil 6. But if there's DLC on the disc, guess what Josh is not going to buy? The DLC, because I'm not going to support that practice.
Speaking of good DLC, so you know how the Street Fighter vs. Tekken had that whole debacle about how they had all that thing on the disc and it became a big ordeal, right?
Right.
Well, Tekken Tag 2, like, the guy who is, like, the big producer behind the game, the director, he came out and was like, yeah, no, our DLC is going to be free, and we're going to add characters, and it's going to be free. And it was cool when he said it, but getting the game, it's even cooler, because I pre-ordered it, too. And I had to go through the horrible process that's getting your pre-order DLC information through BestBuy.com, since it didn't just get sent to me when I first bought it. And I had to email their customer service, and it took 72 hours before I actually got my DLC code. But the way their DLC works is they had 4 new characters on the disc. You get them for free if you pre-ordered, and some new outfits, and a new level, the Snoop Dogg level. And but everyone else gets it for free a month or 2 from now. So it's like, you get these free characters, but if you pre-ordered it, which helps out the retailer and the people developing the game, because you know that benefits everyone, and you get the free stuff because you're an early adopter, but everyone gets it for free. And that model, to me, I'm like, that works for me. That's like when you buy a game new and you get like their online pass, which that game also has. I'm completely fine with this stuff. Like,
well, I saw another example that I thought did it right. Like, so with Arkham City, like Catwoman was DLC, but it was free unless you got the game used. And it's like, okay, well, I get that. Like, it might suck for people buying it used, but you can't really blame them for doing that. Like, that's covering their bases. So, like, I get that, and I think that's a good way to do it,
that's
too.
That's what a lot of games are doing.
But to put it on the disc and say, pay... let's not... I'm not...
Well, and it's not even that. It's like if it's halfway finished stuff, you have to put on the disc. I can get where people are going around. If you just couldn't finish something, but it's the stuff that you blatantly know that when the game was even like announced and brought up to like a board of like, hey, we're trying to make this game, they were like, everyone has to be like, this is our DLC plan. And everyone knows about this stuff ahead of time. And it's just so crooked the way a lot of it's done now. It just really, really, really bothers me. Because I even like the way Halo's doing it, where they're like, we're going to give you the season free of that co-op. But you know it's a year long. It's like 10 weeks. It's like 10 different ones.
Yeah.
So it might be 10 weeks. So I don't
It's
know
one
how
every
it
week
is.
or what?
Yeah, and it's like a new mission, and they have like a little movie scene before it.
Sweet.
But like, you know, that's only season 1, so they're gonna have other seasons.
Right.
But if everyone's like, hell yeah, this is awesome, you know, we're gonna do, or Borderlands.
Right.
You know, Borderlands 2 is gonna have DLC,
Right.
and they have their season pass you can buy to get their DLC. But if you pre-order it, which you should all three do, you also get the free character class and stuff like that. That, you know, will be $10 later on. So I'm all for encouraging people to pre-order and get stuff, and I just. I hate that paid for DLC shit down the line. That's expensive too. Like, that's half the price of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like $20 for the Street Fighter vs. Tekken DLC is
Right.
insane for a game that is not making money.
Or
anyway.
the fact that it costs $10 to buy Lair of the Shadow Broker when Mass Effect 2 is $20.
Yeah, but Lair of the Shadow Broker is really good.
Right, but it doesn't. Another thing I wanted to mention was I finished season 4 of Breaking Bad.
Do not. I swear, if anybody
Amazing.
Show.
By
Man,
the
you've been
way,
going through that
Walter
show.
White shaves his head.
Spoilers!
Oh no, Andy
It's-
makes meth.
I was really hoping he never shaved his head in that whole show.
Yeah.
He ruined the whole show.
No, Lo, it's a fantastic show. I can't recommend it highly enough.
I think we should do a
And-
podcast on that.
We probably could.
I'm gonna have to start watching.
And I
that show.
realized,
I'm gonna watch
okay,
it for
so
free.
I'm totally putting myself on blast here. You know where I'm about to go with this. I can't believe I'm about to publicly announce this.
You making math?
No.
Oh.
But if you need some, holler at your boy. No, so on Netflix, you know, I'm not even going to give it an explanation. I'm just going to come out and say it. My wife's a big fan of Pretty Little Liars. It came on Netflix.
no,
She wanted me to
not
watch
this.
it. I am now halfway through season 2, maybe. I don't know.
I guess John Michael's really into
It's
What?
entertaining.
Dude, look, that's one of those shows.
It's
I'm not gonna lie.
entertaining, I'm sorry.
Look, John Michael right here gonna tell you. I watched that show. It's not on right now. It's gone off until like they got a Halloween episode coming up. But anyway, I don't necessarily care for the Halloween episodes. But anyway, it really is. It's an addicting show.
It's entertaining.
Neil?
It is.
I don't think Neil has any place to talk.
I watch good shows like Doctor Who. That's awesome. I don't know about this. crap.
Dude, they're bringing back Red Dwarf. Anybody ever watch
Yeah,
that?
Red Dwarf is awesome.
Oh, my-
I think
have
you'd
you-
like
have
Doctor
all
Who. Why
9
don't you
seasons.
watch? You know what the last
I
episode?
love Doctor Who. I watched it
Did you
all.
watch the last episode of Doctor Who, the new seasons? Because you should watch it. The last episode was about dinosaurs on a spaceship,
I saw one with
and he
like
had
angel
what's it? The
statues.
queen from Egypt, Nefertiti.
Nefertiti.
She was with him for some reason because he had to go
Sweet.
pick her up, and they're like hunting dinosaurs on a spaceship. That show is amazing.
Yeah,
It's the same guy who directs the new Sherlock Holmes, the BBC. It's the same guy,
I haven't watched this.
which also was really good, which I haven't started watching yet.
I'm about to start.
Too busy
anyways,
watching Pretty Little Liars.
hey,
Hey, don't knock it till you try it,
Like,
dude.
I watch Glee, so I really don't give a shit.
Okay, say the same thing.
God. Someone said this to me about Pretty Little Liars. They said, Josh, they said if they took that show off of ABC Family and put it onto another channel, I promise you would have more people willing to watch it, and you have more people like it.
That is true.
It is. You know, there's things about it that obviously I don't like. They're teenage girls. They do things that I think are stupid.
Everything they
But
do
from
is
an
stupid.
entertainment perspective, when you get down to what the real point of the show is, which is somebody is really trying to screw them over, I mean, it's.
Look,
I think it's entertaining.
Look, I don't even know what this show is or what it's about, and I'm still not. I don't know.
okay, the
It's
entire
on ABC.
no the ABC Family.
Oh.
Yeah, see that just you'd automatically think that show has to be terrible. And okay, look, it's not
No,
the
I
best
watched
show.
some shitty ABC
Well, we're not
Family show
wrong for
before.
saying that show has to be terrible because it's on ABC.
You're
Okay,
right,
no,
you're not.
no,
What I'm
you're
saying
not.
is-
For just instantly thinking that, that's exactly what I thought.
But how stoked are you going to be for Battle Royale if it comes to CW as a television
no.
series? how excited would you be for that?
But
I can't wait till
basically,
they get
look,
in-depth on the
basically the
relationship
show
with the
the
teacher.
show is like you have these 4 girls and they had a friend and their friend went missing, and then someone who knows about them, knows about their friend, starts like knows their secrets, and a lot of these things are like illegal things, and they start making them do things, or they're gonna let their secrets out, and they know who took their friend and all this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, it's entertaining. Say what you will. Hate on. Hate. Feel free to hate.
It's fine. Haters gonna hate, but
Haters
like
gonna hate.
it's a legitimately good mystery, I guess. in some. I just want to know what happens. Damn it! That's just all. I want to know what happens.
Did y'all ever watch Veronica Mars, or you never watched
No,
that?
I never watched Veronica
That show's. You should really watch that show. That show's really
Very
good.
good.
And that's like a good show. With Kristen Bell or whatever. It's really good.
Kristen
You'd really like it because the way they do a lot of stuff and the mystery and the humor and the way the show's written is just really, really good. And random, just like side note of what I did. I went to my grandparents' house. They're both in their late 70s right now, and I went to their house to visit when I went to Slidell. And all my grandpa does all day is watch old westerns. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing he does. Is just
awesome.
He says he can't watch anything else on TV. He'll flip the channels. He's like, I subscribe to Showtime, blah blah blah, and HBO this and HBO that. He's like, all these shows suck, and he puts on the western. It's this 60s show called The Big Valley, and he's like, yeah, at least when I watch this, I get scenery, and there's not enough scenery in television shows or in movies. And it's like this blatant shitty western set that I'm watching. I'm just thinking like, this is so amazing to him. And he's just talking about how great it is. And the whole episode was about this guy attacks this gypsy because he thinks the gypsy stole his wine. And then he finds out that, no, the guy didn't steal his wine. It's just that he thinks all gypsies are bad. Well, then he ends up helping this gypsy girl get back to her husband or something like that. And he dresses up like a gypsy because he gets beat up. And he goes into a town, and everybody's like, you damn gypsy, and throws stones at him. And it's like this big racial show in the 60s about how you shouldn't treat gypsies bad because gypsies are like everybody else. And it was just amazing as I'm watching. I watched the whole entire show. It was like 45 minutes long. And just Westerns, there's nothing really like that now, like what Westerns were.
Right.
But it just made me appreciate, again, and this just shows like how much of Westerns I don't really know. Like every time I see a Western with my dad or my grandpa, it reminds me how good Rockstar was at making Red Dead Redemption model that Western thing, because it's like just like from a set perspective, just every little thing they did, like the things you would see in your perspective when you were at certain things, and especially on their cutscenes were like just ripped directly out of a Western. And it just felt right. Like I don't know, I'm always really impressed by that when I go back and watch Westerns. Every time it's like Red Dead, Rockstar nails that shit.
I want to play that game again.
I know. I gotta play the zombie stuff. I haven't finished it.
I
yet.
think I think they're finally putting an end to The Office. I think
They are.
I think it's
Yeah.
the last season.
This is
Dude,
it.
I stopped
I'm kinda
2
happy
seasons
about
ago,
that.
so because I just couldn't take it anymore.
Last season was pretty funny.
I haven't watched it since season 5.
When the first show, I didn't start watching until like the second or third season. I think the third season, and then I blew through all of them whenever I was streaming them, and I was like, this show's awesome. And then I couldn't. It was the same joke over and over again. When they started not being in the office as much either, like these weird things they were doing and random shows, and it was like the same jokes to me. And you know, I don't want to spoil all the Office show, but when
Michael
like
Scott
main
leaves.
relationship stuff, people get together, I didn't even care about it anymore.
Yeah, I like that. That made me happy.
Yeah.
But then
I've watched the first 2 episodes of Parks and Rec, and I thought that was pretty
That
funny.
and
how
I'm
many
enjoying
seasons
it.
are there on that?
There's 4 on Netflix.
4, they just put out 4 on Netflix, which means I guess 5's about to start on
Dude,
TV.
there are so many television shows like that I just need to catch up on. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
When I was talking to those Japanese people in Japan, they don't have Netflix.
Japanese people in Japan.
Yeah, the
As
ones
opposed to-
no, they don't have the ones here.
Oh, tourist, I guess.
They don't have Netflix. They just recently got Hulu, but they don't have any way to get media like that. In a television set, I was talking to a guy about 24 because he likes 24. It's pretty big over there. And the set for season 1 was almost $90 just for season 1 of
Good
24.
Lord.
And we sell that shit for like 14 or 20 bucks every now and then at Best Buy. Like, and I'm just thinking like that blows. And
I
they
think
have
all those seasons are on Netflix.
yeah, and they have no other option to watch it. Like
Right.
that just really sucks. And like we take I think stuff like Netflix for granted sometimes. Like how much money you saved watching all those things of Breaking Bad on
yeah.
Netflix. You
And
know,
so whenever I used to have to go to Blockbuster and I could rent a disc for like $6 or
Right.
$7.
imagine would you ever watch Pretty Little Liars if you would have had to have bought every DVD? You know,
No,
that's
no.
that's
That's
the
what I'm saying.
same
It's like what you know. A lot of people fuss whenever the Netflix prices went up, but it's like
Those people
even
are
if they
stupid.
still went up, like I am paying per month what it took me to rent a single movie, from Blockbuster.
If I watch a television series, like the whole thing, like all 4 or 5 seasons, even if I didn't watch anything else on Netflix for 5 months, it was like I still got my money's worth.
If
It's
you
stupid
watch
to
an
me.
entire
100
season
years.
of television for $7, if you were to rent each episode off of iTunes, it would still cost you more money.
When I watched all of Battlestar Galactica, all of Lost, all of so many different things, all on Netflix, it's just like, you know, those people are all.
It's
I think we
it's
like
a
Netflix.
steal.
I think we can all agree.
Plug.
Yeah, go Netflix, and it's on
Arigato.
every
That's
device.
the third plug. This is the third plug. We promise you no one bought our beer tonight, guys. All right, so I think we're ready to jump to the break. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to add?
I think we're
Nope.
running around in enough circles.
Cool. Watch that. Put Little Liars on Netflix.
I just met you. This is crazy, but here's my number. So call me maybe. And all the other boys try to chase me, but here's my number. So call me maybe.
All right, everyone. Welcome back from the break. We hope we gave you some things that if you haven't played or watched, you'll go out and watch them. We always like talking about what we enjoy doing, so we hope you do as well. All right, so we're going to roll into the Wii U. We're going to try and do this as peacefully as possible. I'm just assuming that we'll have some disagreements.
America.
No
see.
idea.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are we getting it
You know how
before
negative
Japan?
Josh is. Yeah, we did with the Wii too.
That's just weird.
Same time. We got
That's
it.
weird
We
to
got
me,
it in
though.
November around the 18th, and Japan got it within the first or second week.
That's just weird to
Yeah.
me.
Well, we buy
We
more
got
than
it
they
for
do.
Right, but alright, let's not get into this. Moving on. So the Wii U.
But they're Japanese.
Anyway, so the Wii U,
I never said that.
It's racist.
obviously none of us have played it up to this point. We don't have special privilege. We don't work for EA. So we will...
We all have real jobs, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Just kidding.
Oh, but not really. We're
Yeah,
not
I
really kidding. Stop
so-
working at EA. You're
I
ruining
get paid more
this
than
country.
minimum wage, though.
You're ruining good of it. No, I'm sorry. So let's talk about the Wii U. So they just announced a lot of things. They announced price point, release date, hardware specs, things like
I actually
that.
didn't announce hardware specs.
No, it's up.
I've read some
No,
pretty...
those are still rumored. They have the,
those aren't
the
official?
I don't
official
think
hardware
they're
specs are still not out.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 100%
Okay.
positive.
I believe you. I believe
Yeah,
you.
they did the same thing. I mean, Sony and Microsoft does the same thing with a lot of their specs. So you'll have people because
Well, then I
they
take
have
it back.
they have units that are out, so they have people who tour them up, but they're not announcing any specs. So there's some stuff that's still like, what exactly is this? What exactly is that?
Okay.
All right, so
We know it's in the
I
box,
guess I
though.
guess my first question, I mean, just straight up asking is, all right, so it's November what, 18th?
Yep.
It comes out. All right.
That's
so
the week before Black Friday, right?
Yeah.
is it? Wow.
That's what
No,
last
it's a
year.
genius move.
It's
that's
smart
what I'm
because
saying,
you
yeah.
get free publicity from everyone, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be in the page, like the bigger parts of the front pages of ads for everything, regardless. So you'll get
Yeah,
that.
all 5 of them at America's.
I feel like people will go buy them, assuming they're in
They get
stock,
like
will go
50,
buy them on
60% of
Black
their stuff.
Friday, even if there's not a single deal,
Oh yeah.
which often happens
Yeah.
on Black Friday.
Oh, there probably won't be a deal.
No,
I mean,
I'm sure
no.
there won't be a deal.
No, it's
I
just
would
gonna be.
say, hey, we
It
have
depends.
a week,
What they do.
Oh, you
It'll be a
know.
gift card. They could
Sure,
do
yeah,
gift
they could
cards.
do like a
That's the thing.
store deal.
Then
but,
that's
like,
that's
right.
what's gonna end up happening. It'll be like, buy it, you get a $20-$30 gift
Yeah,
card because they can do that during Black
Nintendo
Friday.
doesn't give you deals.
No,
That's what I'm
Nintendo
saying. Like
won't.
they're not gonna like drop the price
Sure, yeah.
of the
Right.
yeah.
Well, really, it's just such a savings altogether. They don't really have to offer you a deal.
Oh,
All right, so
segue into first point.
I guess my question is, let's go around, answer yes or no, and then we'll go into our individual reasons.
And
why.
let's start with Josh.
Okay.
We never
so,
start with Josh.
So do what?
Right?
We never start with
I know.
Josh. Let's
I
start with
feel
Josh.
weird starting with myself.
Exactly.
All right,
Well,
yes
we're
or no?
starting
My
with
question
you, not
is. So my question is
To yourself. Go.
to myself is
Self.
Josh. Self. Look at the mirror up real quick. Josh, are you going to buy the Wii U? Do you have plans on buying the Wii U very soon
During
after
launch
release,
time.
around launch time? Yes or no? No.
wait. Just do you plan on ever buying the Wii U? Like, is it something that you think is something that you will buy? Not even if it's not at launch.
Not as of right now.
Okay, that's fair. Forgot that you hate fun.
I
I mean,
don't
personally, yeah.
Sorry, I skipped
Oh no, that's fine.
That is not yes or no, Andrew.
Andrew, so
No, I will not be buying this.
ever you have
It
no.
depends. I don't.
Oh.
Would it take
It
Super
looks like
Mario-
we are a table
Wait,
divided.
would it
because
take
I'm going,
Super
yes.
Mario HD, Super Mario RPG HD? Or
It
would-
will take that.
Yeah.
It will take a lot of things.
What
like
would it-
that. A
okay,
lot
we're
of
gonna get to that in a
awesome
second.
Okay, hold on.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
Here's
well,
some awesome port.
I pre-ordered it, but I'm not 100% sure if I'll be getting it literally at launch. But I don't want to come to a situation where I can't get it at launch if I
Yes.
want to.
So,
Get on the 20th.
It's $5 to pre-order at some retailers, so like Best Buy.
I was telling these guys earlier.
Those evil people.
As soon as
But if you get it at Best Buy, make sure you get your Geek
Oh, yeah.
Squad Black Tie
Get that
protection
credit card.
and you put it on your Best Buy card.
Yeah.
18 months, no interest.
what a good
Yep,
card
they
that
love
is.
money.
Your credit.
Yeah, I plan on getting that.
Of course.
That was I texted my mom. I was like,
So are you waiting till you get it on Christmas, or are you gonna get it before then?
you know, I think I can wait till Christmas. Like, cause I was
I'm
like,
glad you're not 12 anymore. That's good.
I was like, I was like, this is.
Yeah, I
This is like the one thing I want for Christmas. You don't have to buy me anything else for Christmas. You're done shopping for me if you just
Well,
like
they
go
should
out.
have at least
pre-order this.
2, maybe 3 solid titles by then. So
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm gonna at least wait till Christmas. So
yeah,
it'll be like another game to play.
that's true.
So yeah, I plan on getting that close to about launch date. So
Do you plan on? So there's 2. Since y'all don't count, do you plan on getting the premium bundle or the
premium
basic,
bundle.
or
Yeah.
deluxe?
If I'm getting it for
deluxe bundle,
if I'm getting it for Christmas present, I want the deluxe version.
Well, that doesn't. I mean, and that's something like if I'm going to get it, like it almost doesn't. And they did this obviously on purpose, but it doesn't even make sense to buy the $299.
it's not true. I think people have a misconception of what the $299 bundle is, because the only thing you technically get with the $350 bundle is Nintendo Land, the subscription to their a 2-year subscription to their digital download promotion store thing, where you basically get discounts on their games. Which whether if you
PlayStation
ever be
Plus.
buying that stuff, it's like a PlayStation Plus,
Yeah,
as far as we know.
Right.
You just get cradles and chargers.
Ah.
That's all you get is cradles and chargers for your stuff.
I want a bigger
But
hard drive.
You get a bigger hard drive.
Okay, 1, it's flash memory, so it's
Sure.
not even like a hard drive. 2, they just announced the day or a few hours later that any hard drive will work on it now.
Okay, well.
So at that
yeah.
point, it's like
So
moot
what-
for an 8 to
right.
32. It's like
What will what's the game called?
What?
Nintendo
Nintendo
Land?
Land?
Yeah. What is that going to
Fireworks?
cost?
Fireworks.
from the
no
Wii?
one knows.
It's fireworks.
No one knows if they don't even know if they announced it separately at launch. Like if they said at launch, if it will.
It's
But
gonna
I mean,
But
Cost-
they're pricing their games. At
I think it's gonna
59, aren't they?
cost
no, yeah, but
12
they're not.
fireworks.
They said the average game is going to be 59, but they haven't talked about what all their game prices are going to be.
Right.
But Nintendo Land, they keep showing cool. And Nintendo Land seems fun. There's a lot of cool stuff about it. So.
But the thing to me with those games is like I agree with you that it looks fun, but I agree
But you
with
hate
you.
fun.
And,
We talked about
no,
that.
I agree with you in the same way that Wii Sports was fun the first
Is-
time I
is
saw
fun.
it.
It's fun.
The
It's
best
fun.
game
It's
on
fun.
the Wii.
Is fun until
Until
a
Xenoblade
week
came out.
later, and I'm tired of playing it.
You were tired of playing Wii Sports after a week,
Yes,
so you hate fun.
I don't hate fun.
Wii
I'm
Sports,
just
if
not.
you put, Wii Sports is still fun.
No, I have to agree with Neil.
No, Wii Sports is
Like-
Wii Sports is one of the only games delivered on what the Wii was supposed to be. 2, it's still fun to show people to play that. It's
You
a fun
can't.
game.
You can't tell me that it's still fun. Like if I played a round of bowling and then got bored after a single
If-
round of
okay,
bowling.
if you
Because
don't
I
like
could
fun,
hit-
then no.
if
But
Because
I
I
mean,
could hit perfects every single time.
I don't think
after-
Josh can hit perfects in bowling. That's
if
fine.
I'm saying it was.
Look, if we had a
He just got perfect in a Wii.
if we had a Wii hooked up right now, even though we've all played Wii Sports,
And even though
before,
all of our Wii's are unplugged, but continue.
like if we hooked it up right now and we were
speak
playing
there,
this game,
yes.
we would all have a genuinely good time playing together.
Except for
I would
Josh.
honestly get bored.
That's so sad.
That is sad.
That really is
playing
sad.
Wii Sports. I'm not saying there's not phenomenal games on the Wii. I'm saying that.
No, but we're trying
Wii-
to say Wii Sports is a phenomenal game still now.
I don't think it's a phenomenal game.
That's really sad to me.
And Wii Sports
So
was,
you're just,
was
it's
also
sad.
good.
you're just
I
a
don't
big
know.
Connect Sports fan. That's really what that game just
No, that's
blew it
just
away.
That's
That-
just
No,
as bad to me.
I am all about the Deca Sports.
Deca Sports, yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
just-
All the Deca
that's
Sports
equally
games.
as not fun to me.
That's so
I will
sad.
say that Nintendo Land looks like it has more potential, I guess.
See, and
than-
I actually
than-
I think Wii Sports is a way,
Oh no.
dude. No. Wii Sports to me sold me.
Andrew, how do you feel about Wii Sports?
I thoroughly enjoy Wii Sports.
I still think
do.
it's still think someone buying a Wii for $130 and buying Wii Sports is still worth the system to me, because that's still a thing to me as a toy, as like the Wii system as a toy with Wii Sports to me is still something that is more fun than any other. Yeah, I can say that, more fun than buying any other console that you could have 4 people sit in the room and play a game with. I still feel that way. And I feel like I could take that to anywhere, no matter what the age group is or the group of people, and they could all have a good time. And I don't feel like I could do that on the Xbox or PS3.
I agree with you. I just, for me personally, it's just not fun.
Okay, Josh
It
is
gets
like fun.
boring.
So
It gets boring to me.
so the only thing, my caveat with the Wii in general, Wii U, that I have a problem with is their complete lack of what they've shown about online, because they keep talking about, like, that
Right.
EA would talk about how, like, oh yeah, they got this cool online service, Mass Effect's going to be online, the Battlefield stuff will be
Everything
online, Call of Duty will be
yeah,
online,
it's all be
but
online.
there's still friend codes. They said there will be friend codes. They haven't talked about what that means
what
yet.
friend codes even
There's
are, really.
there's no stupid like sign in password network yet, so you can transfer all your downloadable games from your Wii, but you have to like do the same silly transfer you had to do on your 3DS. There's the just not having the online thing just really bothers me. Like they did announce that Nintendo Land has no online functionality at all, like no leaderboards, no anything.
Silly.
It is, but they're like, it doesn't need it, and which is not all games need to be online. Like that's fine, but Nintendo, when like everyone's already like, dude, Wii Sports should have just had like a compete with your friends or leaderboards or something.
One game that everyone that had a Wii had.
Yeah, just do something, and they refuse to do it, and I feel like they're still gonna do that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that only really bothers me. They did say though, they're when you boot it up, your Wii is gonna come to that scene. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like it has like little tiles, and it's gonna have the Mii's running around. They'll be commenting. Some of them will be your friends. Some of them will be people that Nintendo thinks they should say what they want to say, like highlighting new games. And Nintendo can move some tiles up that are like newer that your friends are playing. You know, that's where it boots up to. It's like a Facebook news feed, but like
It's
for
pretty,
everything.
It's pretty interesting.
But the coolest thing about it is Reggie confirmed to a writer, I think on Kotaku today, that there will be no ads on any of their dashboard type stuff though.
Beautiful.
So it's not going to be any type of advertisements, which has just shit all over my Xbox dashboard. To where it took me literally, I was telling someone this today, it took me, and I'm pretty damn good with video game and UI and stuff like that, 10 minutes to find an indie game on Xbox Live just because I refused to use the Bing search option. But like it took me so long because I had to go through 4 different menu clicks to get to the indie game section before I could even get to the game.
Yeah.
And that's nuts to me. Or was it Mark of the Ninja? Whatever the last new Ninja game was, is a Microsoft published game, and that wasn't even on like the dashboard. I couldn't just find that game. Like that just blows my mind. So hopefully, and I really like Nintendo's Wii channel thing. So hopefully this works out kind of like that, where it was pretty easy to use.
Nintendo's usually pretty good about stuff like that too.
All right, let's jump over to you.
Okay.
And then we'll jump over to you. Then we'll jump back to me.
Okay.
Why are you not interested in buying it?
I never really go out and buy the first version of any sort of hardware system like that, anyways, because
It's coming out with Batman at launch though.
Yeah, but it's the game that I played over a year ago.
But this is the Armored Edition.
Oh, that makes it.
He's
so
got a
much
thing
better.
on his
I
wrist.
forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Armor.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. Like Nintendo to me. Of course, the only Nintendo system. Well, no, I had a 64. 64 and the NES. I don't know. This is tough, man. Can't choose my words.
You're in troubled waters.
The last good Nintendo system that I played was the Nintendo 64. Boom, throwing that bomb out there.
Wait, have you ever heard of this thing? It's called the DS.
Yeah. Or all the other
But I
Nintendo
don't
systems
have
that came after the 64, including the GameCube. Continue.
I never had a Continue.
God. I can't even comment anything else back to that.
No, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I have a weird feeling about it. It's just, it doesn't. I don't know.
I
can't
think-
describe.
I will
it.
tell you-
I'm
I will
not-
tell you-
I'm not
Touch your
on board.
PP or
I'm
something?
not-
Like what's
I
going
will
on?
tell you
You're
my
weird.
feeling
It
about
touched
it.
me. It touched me in naughty places, and I just don't like it.
Okay, here's how I feel about this.
I'm gonna have to wait.
So here's how I. No, I'm just kidding.
In the past few years, I feel like Nintendo's kind of been seen as like this like little kid company fighting against like Microsoft and Sony, like these
The
like.
past few, you mean like their whole time they've
Okay,
been making
well,
video
no,
games?
no. Well, I think it's just
Since
this kind of thing.
competitors have been in the market.
Well, no,
They
I-
always want we make kid games.
But I always feel like Nintendo has had like those good titles like in the past. They've had more
I agree with you.
like.
They're
Broader,
still like the
they've-
Disney. They're still like the Disney.
Well,
of
sure,
video
but they
games.
still
Like,
had
that's what they
broader
wanna be.
appeal before like Microsoft and Sony really got into this
Yeah,
race.
before Sony
and,
came
like-
out, was like we make rad games for adults.
Right. Yeah. And so, but I feel like with this new system, like they see where they need to go, and Nintendo is like a really.
But they say that every time.
I know, but look,
They were like, we have Resident Evil 4, guys. It's gonna be a hardcore system.
Yeah.
But I already had that on my PlayStation 2.
Nintendo rarely like just completely lets me down, like just totally lets me down, and there's a lot of faith I have in this system, and whether that's well placed or not, and I don't know, we'll have to see.
Like, what is it about the system that you have? Like, why?
Okay,
why?
so the whole novelty of like the controller itself, which I'm sure is something we're going to be discussing here in a second. Why not discuss it now?
It's almost like you're on this podcast.
I know, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so good at this. So the last thing Nintendo did, I guess, was the 3DS, and then they had the Wii, and then before that they had like the DS.
Then before that, they had the GameCube.
Yeah, well, the GameCube we're not going to worry about
Then
because
they had the 64.
Right? No, I'm just saying like in those systems there were these pieces of innovation In the DS, you had these dual screens. In the Wii, you had like these motion controls that hadn't actually. I'm sure motion controls have been done for these dual.
What was the innovation of the GameCube?
He said GameCube, not me. I said in these view. I said the DS, the Wii,
C-Stick.
the terrible controller.
The shittier Z.
In the 3DS, they had like the glasses-free 3D. Yeah.
But none of those things you've said have been as great as the innovations for the regular NES. Like,
yeah, they have been.
Like
the analog stick was a pretty damn
I'm being
good.
sarcastic.
Oh.
Like the slasher that you put on your arm, the
power glove.
Like the power glove and the light gun that won't shoot even.
So you're saying like the controller itself being.
I think that's going to be a pretty cool piece of innovation in video gaming because it really does have a lot of potential of what you can do with video games and how it can take video games to. I'm not saying like this whole new level, but at least like a half step up, at least,
But I think it's going to be different. But I think what you're saying is a benefit is the same thing that held back the Wii is that people don't actually.
Okay, but I guess my point is I don't care about other people. I care about me.
No, but I'm saying you should because the games are made for not just you.
Well, I understand
the John Michael market.
But no. I get you.
I would be honestly. I would be one of those other people. Because for me,
see, it's people like him who buy Resident Evil 6. No, I'm just joking.
But for me, well, I don't want to stop you.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, whether those other people, like, I guess the other market who doesn't, who doesn't like
Josh,
I guess get or enjoy this controller. That sounds very
fun.
That's very condescending. I didn't mean it in that way.
I'm just going to drink my beer. And I want to address Neil, and Neil will have to relay my comments.
No, I guess my point is Nintendo's going to make their games for this console regardless, which are going to be good regardless. Because Nintendo, like, they're like first-person game, like first party, not first-person. First-party games.
All those first-person games.
Yeah. First-person Mario. Yeah. No, those games are like always pretty good. So I mean, I can at least have those.
No, I mean.
But I guess my thing is like, all right, so we can talk about like, okay, well, the controller can do this, and this. We'll get like.
But it's gonna play a lot of movies, Josh. I know how much you like movies.
Dude, the whole point is like,
controller's gonna wipe your ass.
It might be awesome.
It'll
But my thing
spritz
is,
some water in
so
there.
ultimately, I don't care. I am not going to invest money in a system unless you give me a list of games coming out for that system, and I care about the games for the system.
But the games that are coming out for this. It's a Mario game, a Mario Kart game, a Zelda game. Okay, that's not the only. The Super Mario Galaxy team already said they're working on a game for it.
Right, but and when I start seeing interest, and when Zelda comes out, okay,
2 years after it
but
launches.
I'm saying, like, so if you you give me a list of games that are coming out.
They have one.
For this, that's what I'm saying. So I look at the list.
But I mean, like, you know the list.
But here's the thing.
Bayonetta 2, awesome.
Bayonetta 2
Actually, that would be awesome. I can't wait.
But here's
Are you stupid? Bayonetta 2 is like one of the best of motherfucking.
All right, so you have.
God damn it!
So you have Bayonetta 2, and honestly, and just in my personal opinion, besides the fact that I feel like Alien Colonel Marines could be interesting to play with that controller.
It probably won't be.
It probably won't be.
Isn't that Sega?
Dude, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt,
like Red Steel.
and the fact that I don't think Zombie U looks cool, but maybe it could be.
I think it looks cool. I don't think it will be cool. I think it looks cool like Red Steel looked cool.
Sure, yeah.
Right. But other than that, like, the games that are coming, the games that they say this is for sure coming out for it.
He hates Pikmin too, by the way.
Pikmin doesn't.
See, he hates fun.
But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make me want to buy it.
So seriously, if there was a Zelda game at launch, then you'd actually buy it. Is that basically what you're saying? Okay.
I would consider buying it.
So, but you know there's going to be a Zelda game.
But here's my point. So the controller to me, so I'm watching all these trailers for these games, right? And it's like, all right, here's the game. I'm watching this game. This game looks cool. Hold on, let me reference my controller real quick. Let me do this real quick. All right, let me look back over here. All right, hold on, let me do this. And I'm just like, dude.
Okay,
I just want to play the game instead of having a glorified inventory in front of me.
But think of how cool that inventory screen is. How often do you like just have to constantly use your inventory like in a Zelda game? Like,
Oh,
just
I agree.
Yeah, because you want to be
said
you one of the people who
Ocarina
was
of Time.
you're one of those
on
people
3DS.
who really liked the advantage of that on your DS, and it's the same thing.
it's
But what I'm saying is
so
like at
larger
what point? But
DS.
like on my DS, it's like it's all right here. I got this big controller.
See, when people said the same thing you were saying about the DS, it's like, but it's still right there. Like, it's still right there.
it's
in
one of those
front of
things
you, hand
where
gestures.
we have not played this. We've never got to experience how this works, and I feel that
I agree, but I'm saying
once I feel that it'll be a different story, I guess, once we all have this in our hands and we can better say.
But I can't base it off of that.
No, that's true, and you can't say like you can't. I guess it's one of those things where if your buddy has it at his house,
I don't
and you
feel like
go over and
Nintendo would
play
have did it if it didn't work. But that's really how I feel. I don't feel like Nintendo would have released it
Okay.
Yeah.
if it did. That's my
that's
basis. Is
fair.
I think they're usually they've had a few missteps, but they're usually like the way they test things and the way they do things. They don't release shit until it works
I
for them.
I've read and I've heard from people who've been to E3 and things like this controller. It doesn't like it feels
really
right.
light, is that what
yes,
everyone's
it
saying
feel
too, yeah.
it. It's
It
not
just looks
cumbersome.
looks like a heavy piece of shit.
It's not though. But like,
Clunky.
well, it doesn't. No, okay, hold on. It doesn't
It
look.
does.
It looks sleek.
No, it does not.
I'm not gonna say it
Looks
looks
like
slick.
somebody took
Come
a
on.
left in the toilet.
Look,
But-
it's
but
You know what
the thing
looks
is,
sleek?
but,
Apple devices, and that
even
doesn't
if
look
the
sleek.
controller, even if the controller looked cool, like I'm saying, like there's no games coming out for it that I'm getting excited for. On top of the fact that it's like, all right, the reason I love the DS or the 3DS, which is basically just just like a DS with some extra experience points on it. Like, like the reason I love that system is because yes, it has a touchscreen, but I can't okay, Chrono Trigger, touch. It's not very involved in the game. And to me, you have the Xbox, which is really honestly at this point a glorified media hub that you can put games in and play. PlayStation's not there. I don't think it's that bad. But the point is, but the point is,
All
like,
video games suck, Josh.
no, but I'm
Carley.
saying but it's like these systems keep going to like all these. Well, our system can do all this extra stuff. Our system, but our system has this. Well, our system you can watch this one. Or our system, but it's like, dude, I just want to. I want to play a video game system that is pure in its presentation, and I will enjoy my games. And if I have a damn controller that is more distracting to use this thing than to actually enjoy the game, and I'm not saying it will be because I haven't played it, but I'm just from where I'm at, then I have a problem with that. And
What if you
from
just-
what I put from
pull out
the
the
demo
NES,
videos, that's
man.
where I'm at.
But what if you just
Yeah.
got the Pro controller?
We can have that conversation. That is a conversation with but I still have the games issue. But yes, but that right there, and that's just me.
Look, here's some of the examples of like kind of the games they have. One of the games that you can use is like
I know I can buy Mass Effect 3 again.
oh no
Hey, but it comes with the DLC that you didn't play because you're dumb. So
Or because I don't want to spend money on doing it.
say you're playing like a Mario Party game, and you have like your 3-on-1 kind of game, and
you're so not selling me with Mario Party. I would vomit all over every Mario Party game. This is the worst shit that ever came out.
Kill
Mario
yourself.
Party.
All Mario Parties suck. They're
Even
the
the original Mario
One on
Party.
64.
All Mario Parties are shit.
Kill yourself.
All of them are shit.
Kill yourself.
Sonic
you
Shuffle
can-
is better than Mario Party.
Oh,
Crash
those
Bash
are
is about 500 times better than
Kill
Mario Party.
yourself.
Whatever. Mario Party
bold
sucks.
Do
statements.
you prefer Diddy Kong Racing to Mario Kart?
No, I'm not stupid. I just like good games. I do like Diddy Kong's Racing. Though.
Okay,
like
No line yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not a Mario Party game.
Okay,
it's,
now I'm interested.
it's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
different
Diddy Kong
sort of
racing game.
two-player kind of competitive game.
like
What
a
is this?
board
What are you
game,
talking
like
about?
with Mario.
It's just called like a game.
Are you making shit up? What are you talking
It's
about?
called Game
it's-
U. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
game. No. What are you
Game
talking
Okay,
about?
so let's
Are you,
say
are you giving this like a
Game,
hypothetical
game.
game, or are you telling us a game? What are you-
hypothetical.
Oh, okay.
He
Hypothetical.
don't wanna
You're
say
making
Mario
games.
Party.
Yeah. Okay, so you have one person who is like you're competing against each other basically, and you have one person looking at this screen. Maybe they have like a pro controller that they're using, and I believe actually this was a game. It's I'm thinking now.
Oh, okay.
I just realizing that there was a game like this. Basically, you're trying to find each other in this maze kind of deal, and one person can
So
only
like
see.
Bomberman?
In a sense, I guess.
Is that one of the Nintendo Land games?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah,
Nintendo
yeah,
Land?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
okay.
Nintendo
Yeah.
Land one that has
Like
different
you're a
ones.
ghost or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
that's
they
exactly
have
what it was.
the
That's what it
Luigi-
was.
the Luigi's
Yeah.
Mansion.
Yes,
Mansion.
that's what it is.
It's
Okay.
the
I
Luigi
knew it
Mansion
was.
on
No, it's freaking
Nintendo Land.
Luigi's Mansion Mario Party 9.
Okay.
No, it's
We
Nintendo
just
Land.
said- oh
It's no, it is the Nintendo Land's Luigi Mansion game. Yeah.
Right,
It's
okay.
like it's like their Pac-Man versus game where the person who has this can see like the whole entire screen.
Sure,
and then
yeah.
everyone else is individual on the screen.
Yeah.
No, or they have the really cool the Metroid one where the guy who has the Wii gamepad, the Wii U controller, is holding it, and they're able to control a ship that's flying around in space above you. And the other two people who are playing are split screen on the television, are playing as like two Samus-like figures, like Mii's.
Right.
And they're using the Wii Remote and nunchuck to try to shoot and dodge the spaceship that's flying around. So it's like, they called it like asynchronous play, which doesn't even make sense, but like that's what they were trying to call it. And it provides, there's some cool things that they showed the Call of Duty. I care less about Call of Duty Black Ops too, like just so many. But
Call of Duty Gundam Wing.
But if it was that, I would care. But the cool part about it was they were showing their 2-player mode. Just neat in concept was like I could be playing on the controller versus you who are playing on the TV, and that's just a neat thing. Like that's cool to me.
Right, but that's cool. But so we're talking about, you were talking about Luigi Mansions playing against other people, whatever. Now, a lot of these games, they're not. I mean, how many of these games coming out are actually like, ooh, we've got a cool multiplayer? Not that many, right?
No, they're all. Do you mean like what?
How many of these games coming out, besides Nintendo Land, are like really focused on playing with multiple people?
The Ninja Gaiden has online co-op for the whole
It's
game.
Ninja Gaiden 3.
It has an online co-op though.
They
don't have an online. They haven't. Yeah,
but hold on
I
a second.
agree.
Hold on a second. So if I'm paying, if I want to play Nintendo Land with someone else right here in my living room, like Wii Sports, which is the funnest game ever. Okay, so I've paid $350 for my system, which I think is a great price for the system.
We didn't talk about the price. Just to clarify, we were all pretty much okay with the price, or do we think it's?
That's a completely fair price.
I really don't think.
But so an extra controller, an extra Wii U controller costs how much?
They don't sell extra.
Yeah, they're not selling them as separate accessories in North America.
No, they're not even selling them in Japan until next year or here next year. They announced the price in Japan. It's not because there are no games that take advantage of it.
Well, that's stupid too.
No, it's not. Because
why are there no games?
Because if there
they
were,
should come out with. They should
all
launch a game.
Okay, one because they talked about it because people bitch, but the frame rate gets cut down less than 30 if they have the two systems of two.
Before the system comes
but that's
out.
not how they. But their game, the way they wanted you to play it was like we were saying, like asynchronous with your Wii remotes, because they're assuming that most people in the world have a Wii, which they do, or they're selling the Wii remote and nunchuck cheaper and separately in a bundle. That's what they're going to be selling as their main accessory. Because the system itself comes with the HDMI cable, will come with the chargers if you get the deluxe. So the only real accessory you need is the Wii remote and nunchuck, and that is how everyone plays. That is the only way to play multiplayer.
What I'm so
you don't have to buy the whole other thing.
But I'm just saying, like, so for me, if I'm going to drop $350 on the system, it's Nintendo Land $350 worth of fun.
No, but that new Mario is going to be really good. Like I think you're shitting on it because it's not. If you look at what they've shown now compared to what they've shown before, it looks way more like Super Mario World. Like that's what they're going for. Like the whole it's an overworld map now, not going through worlds 1 through 8. It's like an overworld where you go through it.
Super Mario 3D Land I thought was fantastic. I don't mind going.
I'm just saying this is not a shitty. I mean, I think you're thinking of this. It's going to be a lot worse than this. This new Mario is going to be really good. 100% accurate statement.
Now that I have your vote of confidence.
Yeah, now that I know, I played the whole game. I'm 100% sure that it's going to be.
I'm just saying, from my perspective, from where I'm sitting, it seems absolutely absurd to me to buy a system because it's got some cool gimmicks when none of the games actually impress me.
That's every launch. That's every launch though. Every launch.
Well, I don't buy things.
I mean, they had Cameo on the Xbox and Perfect Dark, and they were both mildly shit.
Which is horrible because I enjoyed the original Perfect Dark. But
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm excited more for the potential of the Wii U than the Wii U itself. But I think Mario at launch is going to be good, regardless if it's just a 2D version of the Mario and not like one of the Galaxy Teams games. I think it's going to be still a fun game because I didn't talk about it much, but like I'm really, really, really enjoying New Super Mario Brothers 2 on the 3DS. Like I think that is an awesome game. So you're the one that's enjoying it. No, a lot of people are enjoying it. The problem with that game is if it would have came out before 3D Land, no one would have shit on that game.
Oh, I know.
It's just because 3D Land came out, which is just like this. Which is like this crazy second coming of Mario games. So, and I mean, and I don't disagree with that. But this game is really fun. They do a lot of new things in the game. It's just that it's a shame that it's not reinventing things in a way that I think 3D Land.
Well, I don't need to reinvent it. I'm just saying, like, it seems absurd to me to buy a system. Video game systems exist to play games. That is the function of them. So why am I going to buy a video game system?
But not anymore. You're saying that, but not anymore.
Right, which is what something's like. Why would I invest in a system when the games for it don't look fun and all the extra peripherals don't
Because it's going to work with your TiVo, Josh.
I don't have a TiVo.
It'll work with your Cox cable, and you can screenshot pictures on TV, and then like
Any ally
fake
of
Nintendo
Cox is
tweet
no
about
friend
it.
to me.
It's gonna. I mean, so yeah, just to clarify, I didn't find any of their Nintendo TV whatever they want to call that interesting at all. I don't know. Did you see any of that stuff, Josh? The Nintendo TV stuff that they showed off? Because it works in your controller, and you can do all of your media functions through Cox TV and TiVo. Yeah, and comment on it and stuff like that.
Universal remote. That's awesome.
That's basically what they're trying to sell it
awesome.
as, like a really
Never seen
cool
that
thing.
Before. It's so original and cool.
But yeah, I mean, I think.
Shit.
I mean, I know Andrew doesn't play Nintendo games, so he probably won't like it. But I mean,
Yeah, Super Mario RPG was made by Microsoft.
I forgot you're playing that on your Android phone. So
That's made by.
yeah, but no, I mean, I'm excited for the system coming out, but I don't blame anyone for not wanting to get it at launch. I mean, especially because it's only $350 because it's holiday. In March and April, it's going to be back to $50 or more off. Like, that's just what they do. They're doing this because they know they can get X amount of people to buy it before holiday.
Right.
And I don't
think
and
$350 is a great
yeah,
deal
and I
for
don't
it if
blame
you're
them.
interested.
I still think that if they wanted to make an impact as big as I think they needed to, that $50 cheaper on both, like a $250 and $300, to me would have been perceived better, especially compared to things like Kindle and all the tablets that are going to hit at the same time at the market.
Well, I think a lot of the general consumer, you're going to show them, like, okay, well, here's the cool thing about this thing. So you have this controller here. It kind of works like a tablet, and people are like, wait a second. Now, that's
Nintendo's going to really push to not compare that thing to tablets.
They're going to push for it.
Yeah. No, I think to not, because, I mean, you're not going to want to do that too much because it's
Nintendo
not.
can only do so much. It's going to be the employees at Best Buy and GameWare.
Yeah, so
who have to
great
really-
people. But no, it is gonna be. I think that's the worst part is like their message and trying to market what exactly the Wii U is gonna be their hardest thing.
Who wrote the article? What was the article where he said it was a new controller for the Wii?
That was some jackass from CNN.
God,
Or-
yeah, it was on
Was it
CNN.
CNN? He did something
Yeah.
else about Halo. He said, "Well, I'm a hardcore gamer because I grew up playing games like
Yeah,
Halo.
Yeah, and that's when
Oh,
everyone was
shoot
like,
me
"Go,
in the
go,
face.
kill yourself."
But
no, I mean, it's
So let a 15-year-old write an article?
it's gonna be rough. The biggest fear I have about the system is because of the price and because it's not cheaper. They basically gave Microsoft and Sony complete freedom to outprice and outmatch with bundles and deals incredibly more value for your money, because they're gonna have a Kinect 4 gig with like 2 or 3 games that'll be cheaper than any of the Wii SKUs.
There's a new
or Wii U
PS3
SKUs.
bundle coming out. I
Yeah,
know that.
and that will also be way cheaper.
They're about to drop the price.
You gotta
Yeah.
look into that, Andrew.
So yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so you can
you
play
can
good
just
games. Yeah, it's like Tokyo Jungle. So it's gonna be really,
I know, it's
really
awesome.
good. It is gonna be awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I think Sony and Microsoft are gonna be very competitive pricing with all that stuff this holiday.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be because the Wii U's new kid on the block.
Well,
And
yeah, and I mean, there's something to be said for, I say I want it for Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, but it's the new big shiny thing on like everyone's list.
And I think it really is going to be strange because depending on how it does in Japan will determine what type of games we get too. Like if it doesn't do really well over there, then it's going to be really weird because a lot of American publishers, it's going to be a lot of casual stuff here still because that's just how they associate the Wii.
Right.
Yeah.
Even no matter what Nintendo wants to do. But like in Japan, they're doing it's really expensive. It's even more expensive than it is here over there. And there's a lot of people who've been complaining about that. But they did announce a Monster Hunter bundle in Japan that's going to come with Monster Hunter. And that game is compatible with the 3DS version of Monster Hunter, and you can transfer your data.
which is very
And
cool.
that game, so that's gonna do really well. And it's exclusive to just the Wii, so that'll be really good. And the new Dragon Quest that's
Dragon
online
Quest.
is on
Yeah,
Wii U
that's-
too,
I
which is
don't-
also
Can't
really
wait for
awesome.
the new Dragon Quest.
I've
Dude, screw you! That game looks awesome. I hate
yeah,
all of
if
it.
that's
It's
no,
a
no,
real
no.
system seller.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
It is in countries that like good games.
Well, this is America.
Exactly. And they play stuff like shit that Rare makes.
Right.
So
Halo.
Hey.
yeah,
Little finger
like
right
Banjo Kazooie. They
Hey,
only
you're
play
stupid.
garbage
You're
games.
dumb. I'm gonna
Yeah.
collect my gold puzzle piece.
Look at you talking about. Oh, he doesn't like fun. He doesn't like fun.
I don't
You-
like googly-eyed, shitty developed games that look like shit and play like shit.
You're so stupid.
But you're gonna buy Pikmin.
We need to end this podcast.
yeah,
So,
that's
wait, we need to.
Hey, I'm
so
not
we can
saying
have a
don't-
legitimate
I'm not
battle.
saying don't
Like-
enjoy Pikmin.
If we don't have another one, it's because I stabbed Josh and Andrew.
I'm not
before we
saying don't
left.
enjoy Pikmin. Have fun with Pikmin, but don't say you like googly. I don't play games with blah blah blah.
I said I like good games, so I can't like crappy made 64 games.
Blast Core.
Did you like any games on the
Blast
Nintendo
Core is
64?
amazing. Blast Core, I bought
I
like
just said
2
it was
or 3
amazing.
copies. I just said, yeah.
Did you like Star Wars Rogue Squadron? That's an
Rogue
important
Squadron.
question for me to ask you.
I liked the one on the GameCube a lot more. So whatever that one was a lot better. What was
I think
that?
it was
Was
called
that-
Rogue Squadron. I think
I like
that's the one.
Shadows of
Yeah.
the Empire though. Does that count?
Yeah.
And that game's bad. And I like that game.
That was a pretty bad game.
Shadows of the Empire is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
bad.
Nintendo 64 standard.
Yeah.
And the Superman game.
We need to do a 64 podcast though, like just
Yeah,
a
we should
system
do it,
podcast.
actually.
Because I know we covered some of our favorite stuff.
Absolutely,
We could
yes.
easily just go by system and just rail on a whole bunch of games. I could just tell you why you were
Game.
wrong about liking them.
Goemon.
They just announced the
Yeah.
Goemon, the Game Boy version just came out the 3DS digital shop today. Goemon.
what did?
I'm just
Goemon.
supposed to get a 3DS
Goemon.
because of
It's a good
more
game.
games are announced.
There's like 20 of them in Japan. We only got like 3 here, and the ones for Super Nintendo are really good. We never got those. We didn't get. If you look at the massive amount of Super Nintendo games
We
we
did
never
not,
got,
yeah.
especially RPGs and action RPGs, because people are like,
Sickened in Setsu 3.
"Man, that's a shitload of stuff to translate."
My
Nope.
phone.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Super Nintendo games now that are translated on emulators that you can
Yeah.
play through that are
Yep.
excellent.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right, guys.
Download
So
emulators.
go buy the Wii U. Don't buy
No,
the Wii U.
don't do
whatever.
it. Don't do
You
it.
can't tell me not to.
Yes, I can. Don't
Well,
do
we
it.
really. Well,
I'll tell you
I'm
not to. Don't do it
interested.
somewhere
I
else.
want to hear what you guys and girls think about the Wii U. Whether or not you're planning to buy it. If you're not planning to buy it, or if you are planning to buy it, let us know why. What games are you excited for? What games do you think are stupid? We just want to know. And if you've seen anything or played anything recently that you think is great, let us know. We're always looking for stuff to play, stuff to get into. And all 5 members of the Nerd Takeout community want to know as well. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. We will see you next week with some other topic that we will decide probably the day before.
Yep.
All right, guys, have a good week.